So do you have what it takes to be in my team? You've got to have your FIFA game on point. Who's winning the tournament then?
I'm winning the tournament. I'm winning the tournament, man. Come on.
Hi and welcome along to AFTV News Daily. Hope you guys have been having a great day. Good evening. And we are here in full effect today. Joined on the show tonight by Curtis. How you doing, Curtis?
Yo, what's happening, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. At last, some real football has started over here in the Premier League. So that's good to know. And we're going to talk about that. Arsenal playing in a friendly today and winning by 6 goals to 0. So that's a good start for the guys, very encouraging scoreline. Of course, it's a friendly, so we can't get carried away by any of that. But a good start shows that they're fit and they're rearing to go in that win over Charlton. And also there was other games today, Bundesliga games. I watched earlier on. I watched the game against Bayer Leverkusen versus Bayern Munich. What a good team Bayern Munich are! Brilliant. I mean,
we found that out a few times, haven't we, Rob?
I mean, after that win today, what was that? They won 4-2, and could have been more. Now and Bayer Leverkusen is one of the top teams over there. They've been playing brilliantly, and after that win, now they only got to win 2 more games, and they've won their 8th straight title. But you can see there's a massive gulf between them and all the rest of the teams over there in Germany.
Yeah, because then any time like Dortmund get close to them, they tend to go and buy their best player off them. You know, they took Lewandowski off them, they took Hummels off them. You know, so no one can get close to them.
Yeah, it is a very one-sided league, and I think you can kind of see that in watching, some of the games. But then I suppose anybody in Germany will look at the Premier League and say, well, hold on, that's even more one-sided this year because you've got a team that's like 25 points ahead. But the thing I would say is that they're so far ahead in ability, and to win it 8 times in a row, which they're gonna do, wow, they were really some machine when I was watching them earlier. Paul M.A. King saying Bayern Munich look awesome, and they really do. And do you know the other thing that was very interesting about that game? Let me just do this one as well. Andrew Chow says Arsenal 6-0 title contenders this season. To get top 4, to win the league Bundesliga games show that top teams will smash the lesser teams. And again, we're going to touch on that as a talking point as well. But yeah, I mean, in that game, did you notice, right, the game earlier? Bayer Leverkusen, they had this, they've been talking about these fake crowd noises. They did it in that game. They did it. They had constantly, you could hear like the crowd singing and stuff like that. Now, for me, watching it on TV, it improved the experience of watching it rather than it just be really, really quiet. And you just hear people going, yeah, hi, what's you can just hear some little distant echoey noises. I thought it enhanced it. I don't know what you thought watching it, but I thought it enhanced it. What did you think?
No, I thought it was a lot better, man. As you said, when you can hear the players talking and that, and no background noise, it doesn't feel as serious. I mean, it'll probably make the Emirates louder than usual, to be honest, with that noise. So, yeah, but I think it definitely enhances the atmosphere, man. So I hope they do that when the Premier League starts.
Yeah. I thought it added to it, and I think definitely if I was Arsenal or any of these teams in the Premier League, I'd be considering doing that because I've watched a lot of those games now, and like you said, you can hear the ball being kicked. It really does you've got that training type atmosphere. But that one today, as I said, because of the noise, just added something to it. I know it's not real, but it just added something a bit. Even when they scored by Leverkusen, they obviously had like some sort of mixer that then made it seem like the crowd were celebrating the goal. I just thought it kind of worked for me as that person back home watching it on TV. But the Arsenal, of course, played today. 6-0 winners over Charlton. There's a match report on it on Arsenal's website. I'm going to go through it now. Of course, it was a friendly. And the match report reads, we returned to action with a 6-0 friendly victory over Charlton Athletic at the Emirates Stadium this afternoon. The match was played behind closed doors with the officiating taken care of by coaching staff of both teams. So no referee. I know you know what that's like, Curtis, when I go and watch my son sometimes, the most infuriating thing when your coach is refereeing the games. Oh, it's terrible. Right. But anyway, that's how they officiated it. And the report goes on to say we went into a 2-goal lead at the break against the championship opponents, courtesy of strikes from Alexander Lacazette. That would have been brilliant for him. And Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, of course. Lacazette opened the scoring with a fair strike from outside the box before a darting run from Aubameyang on the left flank ended with the Gabon international curling the ball inside the far post. The third goal came in less glamorous fashion, with Eddie Nketiah fastest to tap home in a second half goal mouth scramble that came after a Danny Ceballos free kick. We added a fourth when Nketiah found the net once more, this time coolly converting a one-on-one. But there was still time for our academy graduate to complete his hat-trick, heading home after a great ball from Joe Willock. Willock then added a goal of his own just moments before the final whistle, with a first-time strike that sent the ball into the top left corner from the edge of the box. 6-0 winners. What can you say? Good little run out.
Yeah, I mean, Arteta's probably, saying everything he wanted was completed, a clean sheet, lots of goals. I'm sure confidence is high. Good for Lacazette to score again because he was on a good run of form before the pandemic started. So good for him to score again. The only thing I didn't want to hear, it said Aubameyang playing on the flank again, so he's still a left winger. Still scored. So it's a good start. But obviously, Charlton, Man City, it's a little. The levels are going to be a lot different. But we done what we could, man.
Vicstar123 says Arsenal hyping it against Charlton, Banter FC. We're not hyping it. Chill out, bro. We're not hyping it. We're just saying, it's good. First run out after all these months against a championship team. You win it by 6-0. What more can you want? I mean, it's a good. No one's gonna take anything from that. No one's gonna get carried away. But good start.
Yeah, man.
Good start. And very pleasing to see, and good to be talking about the game of football that happened. That really happened. So that's really pleasing. Lewis Houghton is saying that the highlights have just been uploaded onto Arsenal's website, so you'll be able to watch that. But like you said, interesting, good for Lacazette. I mean, Stu MC said Lacazette needs that against a championship pub team. Will do wonders for his confidence. These guys are so negative, aren't they? Like you said,
disrespectful.
he was on a good run of form up until the whole pandemic.
And I'm not being funny. If we got Charlton in the FA Cup, 6-0. I mean, look when we played Leeds in the FA Cup, how hard that game was. Do you know what I mean? So it's not to be. You can't just expect to hammer these teams. 6-0 is a good result. We're not hyping, obviously, but in preparation for the City game, it's a great start.
All right. Luke Williams says VR. There must be a way we can use that. Put it on and put it on in your stadium. Stream the game to it. So I think he thinks it feels like you're sitting there. So these VR headset things.
Yeah.
He's saying that maybe you could,
virtual reality thing.
Use that as maybe an option. I don't know. Maybe that's something to be looked at. All I know is that the sound, just having that little bit of sound there, to me, it enhanced it a bit. You know what I mean? He was better than just hearing it. But just going back to the result. Good for the strikers there. Lacazette, like you said, good for his confidence to be the first player to score today.
Yeah, definitely. Because look, for me, Nketiah will get his time. He'll get a chance, but I think these last 10 games are vital for Lacazette because people have kind of turned on him a little bit. And I think he can rescue his time at the club. If he scores goals in these next 10 games, all of a sudden, if something happens with Aubameyang, we might feel a little bit more like we can rely on Lacazette. So they're important games for him, man. So I'm glad he scored.
And also good for the confidence of Eddie Nketiah. Hat-trick. I mean, he will definitely get used in these games. He was getting used even before the whole pandemic thing happened. I mean, he could be quite an important player as well because, you know, there's got a lot of games coming up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're playing, 2 or 3 games a week. So Eddie's going to get game time. He's obviously a natural goal scorer. I'm not totally convinced yet whether he's at the level that Arsenal need, but he's a young player and he'll get a chance. So, yeah, good, man. All the strikers are banging goals in. I would have liked Martinelli to score as well, but hopefully next game.
Yeah, Jam says hopefully Lacazette can show what he's made of in the league against City now after his goal. And as I said, very, very, very good for Lacazette's confidence. Ashatu saying, hello, Robbie. People telling Lacazette scored against Charlton and laughing. They should remember he has goals against all top 6 sides. Napoli, goals Atletico, and many more. Thoughts. He has scored big goals for Arsenal. You know, so but we all know that he's been not having the greatest of seasons. But as I keep pointing out to a lot of people, the season's not over. No. So if in the last 10 games he goes on the rampage, you know, and scores a load of goals, will those same people be saying, "Oh, get rid of him"? Because I think we're very quick nowadays to just bin somebody off. You know, after they've been having a poor time of it. And he has, what was he? I think it's about 9 goals he scored this season.
Yeah.
Not the end of the world, but
no,
it's not good enough.
No.
You know, you play for Arsenal, you're under a lot of pressure.
I mean, the thing is, Rob, last year he only scored 13 league goals. And he got player of the season. So obviously the fans, everyone was happy with him. I think his game's changed at Arsenal. When he was in France, he was just a goal scorer, you know. At Arsenal, I think he's more link-up play, hold-up. I do agree. I think he does need to score more goals because with his finishing ability, I feel like he should score more. But he seems like a confidence player. He needs confidence. Aubameyang seems like he just thrives on chances, and where Lacazette, sometimes he snatches at things or he has an extra touch. But I think we've got to back him, man. You can't just turn on your own player quickly, man.
Yeah. Sendria says, no matter which team we play, it's always good to win. And I'm sure it means a lot to Lacazette that he scored. He's so underrated and not acknowledged for his hard work. And I always say that that's the one thing where me personally, I find it very hard to get on his case, even when he's not banging in those goals, because he does so much work. When you go to a game and you see him play, he's always forever putting it in. He doesn't bottle it. You know what I mean? He doesn't shy away from things because he's not having a good time, and he's a real team player, and that goes a long way. Ben Cook says, hi, Robbie and Curtis. Curtis, what are your thoughts of the Aubameyang situation going on and the issue of him leaving for cheap? Could it affect the team in any way, given the uncertainty? And do you think Chelsea are going to be the best team in London as they're buying quality players?
Good question, man. I mean, the Aubameyang situation, I think, will have a big effect on Arsenal's future in the next couple of years because, for me, I can't see a natural replacement for Aubameyang out there. And there has to be a turning point at Arsenal. We can't keep selling our best players. We did this years ago, Van Persie, Sanchez, Fabregas, Nasri. There has to be a point where we stop and just say, it's not about the money. If we're going to give him a big contract, we give it him. We need to hang on to him. I would even be willing to risk his contract running down. I would not sell him on the cheap. And then the Chelsea question, I mean, they're making big moves, man. Werner and Ziyech, they're two big signings, but we're going to have to do it in a different way. We haven't got that Abramovich to just go and buy it, so we're going to have to do it in a different way.
Although the RB Leipzig manager or president, one of them today, came out and said that the deal ain't been done for Timo Werner. There's no contacts been made between them and Chelsea. So that's what he was saying, as if to suggest that the deal's not been done and that he's not on his way to Chelsea at the moment. So, but certainly it looks like it still could get done. I mean, he was just saying that, you know, why is everyone saying that he's on his, you know, he's not on his way to Chelsea at the moment. So, Andrew again here, he says, let's be brutally honest. If the right offer came for Aubameyang, you would still say no. Yet if the right offer came for Lacazette, would you say no? Listen, if the right offer came for either of them, I wouldn't say no if we're replacing them like for like. That's what I always moan about. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's offers you can't turn down. But the amount of money that we're going to get for Aubameyang now and the lack of spending that we have, it makes no sense whatsoever, in my opinion, to be selling him. Hilmer says, was Tierney playing? I haven't watched the game, but from what I can see and the players that were there and that, Tierney was there. So I would have thought he did get a run out. I know
as well.
Married there and that, you know, so I would have thought, you know, they would have played a lot of players. They're going to need all of them. They're going to need big squads in these games.
Yeah. It's a boost to have Tierney back as well, man.
Yeah. And it'd be very interesting to see how Tierney gets on. It'd be very interesting to see if Tierney starts. And also then there's the right back position. I'm not sure if Cedric, you know, I'll have to try and see if I can catch up with his highlights afterwards. But of course, I was sort of discussing it this morning. The Cedric situation, now that he's come in, puts a lot of pressure on Bellerin. What do you think?
Yeah. Do you know what? For me, I'd give Cedric a go. Like I believe he's training with a face mask on, so he must have got some sort of injury in training. But I would give him a go. You've brought him in on loan. He's a free transfer at the end of the season. I would even go as far to say that I think Cedric might be a better defender than Bellerin. Maybe not overall as a player, you know, attacking and defending, but I've seen Cedric look quite solid defensively for Southampton. I would give him a chance.
Yeah, you know, it'd be very interesting to see. Ilias says Lacazette has been sacrificing himself since there is a lack of creativity from the midfield, so he has to drop deep in a deeper position. Not a bad point there. I saw Ozil playing as well in the game today. Yeah. And it says, guess what, Robbie? Maitland-Niles played. So it looks like he's giving everybody a run out in the game. Yeah. To see what he could do. Parks and Games says, keep Aubameyang, let him bang 25 goals and get us into the Champions League next season. Those goals are worth more than 20 million.
100%. I agree with that. I would definitely keep him. Because the thing is, if he has a good season next year, you know, he might sign a new contract next season because he's less clubs are going to want to buy him next year when he's turning 32.
Mind you, we tried that before.
Oh, yeah, true, yeah.
Have a good season and they're gone for nothing.
Right? Yeah.
Carl says, you saw the highlights of Charlton, Robbie. Mustafi got spun by Charlton players. Oh, man. It was 6-0. We kept a clean sheet. You know what I mean? You know what people are like? They'll watch every last, and it is a friendly. And like we just said, both ways. 6-0, we don't get carried away. A player gets spun, you don't carry them away because they're going to be rusty. Yeah, man, 100%. You know, and it's difficult. They haven't played a game for how long? 2 months, 3 months. You know, it's going to take them 3 or 4 games to be up to speed. Yeah. Lone Star London says, back to reality. Last 5 games against City, conceded 14, scored 2. That said, underrated Nketiah just keeps scoring. It's going to be a tough game. I mean, there's going to be no chance when we go Man City. You know, it's going to be a lot different, man. Do you know what, though? I just believe the fact that there'll be no fans there and we've had a long time off, I just feel like
we should go to that game and just have a go at them. You know, we've been there before and been cautious. We haven't won since when Giroud scored that header and Cazorla scored the free, penalty. You know, why not go there? Arteta knows Pep Guardiola's game inside out, so he should know any little flaws in his game. I'd like to see us go there and attack them and have a go.
Yeah. Kyle B says, just watch the highlights. Ainsley Maitland-Niles was playing as a CAM. Aubameyang slipped and still scored a curling finish. Pepe also hit the post from a free kick. Tierney started the game. So all very positive. Ainsley Maitland-Niles playing in the central midfield as an attacking midfielder. That's good for him. Could that be a role for him in the coming games? Could be. Yeah. Willock scoring as well. Good, good that Willock scored. I think players like Willock's got a great engine on him, might have a big part to play from now till the end of the season. 5 substitutes, remember. Yeah,
exactly. And I think the manager will use them substitutes in most games. I mean, Ainsley's wanted to play in midfield for how long? He's been moaning and bawling about midfield. So he's got his chance now, man. And it's not like our midfielders are scoring goals either. So if he comes in and bangs a few goals in, he gives himself a chance.
Yep. Twisted Bubba says, Robbie and Curtis, how many games can Arsenal afford to lose and still make the top 5?
Do you know what, Rob? I think we've got to win I think we've got to win 6 or 7. 6 or 7 wins, I think, to get top 5.
I think 7. 7 wins.
7 wins.
Which is going to be very difficult when you look at the games to come. When you look at the games to come and the teams we've got to play. We've got Leicester in there. We've got Liverpool in there. We've got City, of course, in there. Tottenham. Some very difficult games against some big clubs. The one thing I would say, Leicester is a home game. We've got a good record against Leicester at home. Liverpool, we're more than capable of getting something against them at home. It's not away. City's going to be very difficult, as we know. That's a difficult game to come back. And you heard what that guy just said. It's a very poor record against Manchester City. But sometimes with these sort of strange scenarios that we're seeing, you never know. AFC RZNO says, big up Don, Robbie and Curtis. What do you guys make of Arteta saying if he has to convince a player to stay, it's not worth it? Yet he's going to have a personal chat with Aubameyang to try to convince him to stay.
Do you know what, though? I take that first comment with a pinch of salt. I think Arteta's just trying to say, look, a player's attitude should be that I want to be at the club. But at the same time, if your contract's running out and you're a big player like Aubameyang, you've still got to show him that, look, this is the place to be. You've got to give him the right amount of money, show him that you're ambitious. So I think there's a balanced argument in between the two comments somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Kingsley Opera says, hi, Curtis. What are your thoughts on the reports that Partey could force the move to Arsenal? Who would you let go, Xhaka or Torreira? If we was to get Partey, obviously, I think he's saying.
Well, first of all, Partey for me is an absolute must sign this summer. If we've got any opportunity to get him, we've got to. Out of the two, I'd probably let Xhaka go. I just think he's been at the club for a while. I don't think it's really worked out for him. I'm still having nightmares over the fact we bought him ahead of Kante, man. You know what I mean? And I think Torreira's got a little bit more to offer, even though he's always bawling about.
That's Torreira. Has it worked out for him though as well? Listen, we all love Torreira, and I was sort of thinking about this the other day. What has he really done as well? You know what I mean? I know it's been difficult for him, but he hasn't lit it up, has he?
No.
He's a crowd favourite. We all like him. But what's he done as well? He's, it would be, I don't know. I mean, I'd probably be like you and say, well, out of those two, I'd stick with Torreira. But I don't know, man. He needs to step up as well. These games from now till the end of the season, I want to see more from Lucas Torreira.
Do you know what my argument would be for Torreira? I think when we first signed him, that first 6 months, he showed the level that he was capable of. and in a midfield that's not that good either, by the way. Whereas with Xhaka, have we ever seen Xhaka at a level where we're like, yo, Xhaka is a top player, man? Like, I just think Torreira, if he had a better midfielder next to him as well, he could produce more. But I agree with you to a point. I don't think Torreira's no world beater at the same time.
Yeah. Table Tennis Twin says, great performance, but the attack came on the right. Bellerin looked shocking again. Cedric must be given a chance. I mean, I haven't seen it yet.
No, I'm going to watch it after this.
They're showing highlights, right? So, well, people need to be careful of that. And also, we've got to be careful because, you know, some of these players are still going to be, you know, it's going to be rusty. It's a friendly. They're not even going to be well. Mr. Pepper says, how can you go and attack City with our dodgy defence? City will pick you up and have to play it on the break. City's defence ain't been great either, has it?
Not at all. I mean, look,
do is to attack them.
Do you know what I mean? Like they're what 20 odd points behind Liverpool. They've had Fernandinho in defence half of this season, and let's be honest, the Premier League season for City is not that relevant. They're not going to win the title. They're probably secure in the top 4. I think Pep's vision will be, you know, the Champions League. So that's why I think we're capable of catching them on an off day. Although at the same time, if City play well, then you know what I mean.
Yeah,
yeah, finished.
I think if City are on song, let's be straight here. They've got a much better team than us. They've got better players than us, and they play in a system that they're used to, and they're brilliant. And Pep Guardiola is one of the best managers in the world, and he will get them fired up for that game. However, who knows?
You never know. Who knows, innit?
The Discord link in the description is expired. It's been a long time. I can't join. How can we join the face cam after the games? And he says, Viva Özil. I'm not too sure what he's asking there. The link in the description. I'll get the guys. So he could be on about Discord. If it's a Discord link, I'll get them to check that out. Music Cloud says, I saw on the AFTV Insta page that Partey has agreed personal terms. Well, no, we were just reporting on some of the rumours that are saying that he's agreed personal terms. There's other rumours that are saying that he's willing to force a move. Nobody knows at the moment. It's just, you know, rumours at the moment. Eve Free Boss says, I think Xhaka gives more. That's in what you're talking about, in the player that you would rather get rid of. Would it be Xhaka or Torreira? Pranav says, I put my faith in Claude. Yeah. He's going to stay. No need to worry at all. Yeah, you carry on with that.
Yeah, man. I hope he knows something.
Really Scooter says, Curtie, thoughts on Luiz? One player you would buy as well from the Bundesliga, realistic. Your thoughts on Luiz first.
Thoughts on Luiz? Look, I've said this over and over again. For me, Luiz is not the level that we need to be aspiring to. We need to go higher, of course, if we want to get back to where we should be. But to me, I think David Luiz has been our best centre-back this season. I mean, maybe that says a lot about where we are. But I would keep him for one more year. I think his experience is vital. You got the likes of Saliba and Holding, young players. You do need some experience there. So I hope we give him another year, David Luiz.
Okay. Mr. Pepper says, Robbie, Socrates and Mustafi got rinsed by champions in the highlights. But the sheet is 6-0. Guys are harsh, man.
Yeah,
and man. Says, yes, Arsenal should go for top 4 or 5. But what if they fall short and end up in the Europa? Like DT says, wouldn't it be better to stay out of that for next season? We did the podcast, and DT was saying that he would rather, if we can't get top 4, rather not get any European place at all and just not. What's your thoughts on that?
You know what? I changed my mind on this. Before, over the last couple of years, I've always said, you know, you need the Europa League as the backup plan because, you know, you don't really play your main players in the groups. But seeing the effect it's had on us in the league over the past couple of years, I tend to agree. I think playing on a Thursday and a Sunday, I don't think it helps. So I think, yeah, we're better off out of it and just focus on the league.
And a Bundesliga player?
Oh, Bundesliga player. Well, I would have said Upamecano before he got sent off today. So, I like Leon Bailey, at Leverkusen.
Not
He's
getting a game, though. Not
yeah, exactly. So we might get him on the cheap.
Says, I'm with Curtis. I believe that Xhaka could be moved on. Torreira and Partey in midfield can definitely form a good wall in front of the back four.
100%. Yeah, man.
Shezed says, evening, guys. What would be your starting 11 against City? Also, Don Robbie, you need an AFTV app. Well, an AFTV app is coming. AFTV mobile app coming out very soon. Might be out just in time for when we do the restart. So look out for that. Starting 11. Go on, Curtis. Starting 11.
Leno in goal. I think we can agree on that.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to pick Cedric. Only I do want to play him, but is he match fit? If he's match fit, I would give him a chance. If he's not, then maybe we just stick with Bellerin. I would play Luiz and Pablo Mari at centre back. I would like to play Tierney, but again, is he match fit? I'm not sure. He's been out for a lot.
If he's match fit, I'd want Tierney in there.
100%. If he's match fit, you play him. Then play Torreira. The midfield's so difficult to pick because I don't really rate many of them. Do you know what? I'll play like Torreira, Ceballos, maybe. Torreira, Ceballos, and I'll play Willock, Give Willock a chance, man. Yeah, I'll give him a chance, man. Energy and that. I don't think Xhaka does well against these teams. They're too quick for him in midfield. And then I'll play Lacazette. No, do you know what? I'll play Aubameyang through the middle because I keep balling from through the middle. I'll play Martinelli, Aubameyang, and Pepe front three. Aubameyang through the middle.
Okay. I'd go... Right, so yeah, Leno, of course. I'd go, you know what? If he's fit, I agree with you, Cedric. I'll put him in. But
yeah, man.
Or is that too much of a big game to throw him in against straight away? No, actually, no. I go Bellerin. I suppose you just got to go with the players that are more experienced. Well, mind you, he's an experienced player, Cedric, isn't it?
Yeah, man. He's about 28, isn't he?
Cedric,
chuck him in, man.
Yeah, Cedric. Then I agree with you. With Luiz and Mari, I like that pairing, and Tierney, right? Then in the midfield, I go Xhaka and Torreira because remember who we're playing is City, right? And I can see De Bruyne waltzing through that. We're going to need an extra screen in that game. Then in front of them, Özil. He's had a break. He's had a break.
Özil away from home in a big game, bro.
I'm saying, yo, get out there and show me something, right? And then up front, I'd go. I like that Martinelli, Aubameyang, Pepe. I like that actually.
Yeah,
it's a game. It's a game where you're gonna have to use your squad, and you can always bring on Lacazette if it ain't working out. And you know what I mean. But then, you got Martinelli. He's gonna work really hard down those flanks. Pepe, not so much the work. Yeah. But that's why I'd have Torreira and Xhaka in there.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah,
that front three. That front three could hurt City, man. I'm telling you, on the counter-attack. Martinelli, Pepe, Aubameyang, that's lively, man. Otamendi and Fernandinho and them boys won't want to play against that.
Yeah. Nathaniel James says City have got Laporte, Mendy, Sane, and De Bruyne back from injury. Sorry, guys. It'll be a miracle if Arsenal keep the score down to 2-0. Also, Pep won't want to lose to his assistant. Won't want his assistant to embarrass him. Again, though, again, you know, returning play. I mean, Sane's been out for a year. So Laporte's been out for a very long time as well. So again, they're going to be in the same sort of vein as a lot of players where they're coming back. And I mean, if those guys are back and in full shape, no chance.
No.
It's going to be very difficult, whatever. Caleb Ryan says, how can you compare Alphonso Davies to Saka, Robbie? Come on, man. Davies is the best left back in the world. Now, you see, this is when people twist up. Right? I asked this question this morning.
What have you said, Rob? What have you said?
Twist up what you said. I did not say Saka was better than Alphonso. I was asked a question this morning. Who's better, Saka or Alphonso Davies? And I said that obviously Alphonso Davies is better. He's unbelievable. And the question wasn't asked about left backs. It was asked about how do you compare them as talents. But I said, you know, Saka is comparable in the way that he's broken onto the scene. He's like, he's rated in the, you know, they did that top 10 the other day of best young players. Saka's in there. And he's been electrifying, Saka, since he's come in. Now, I'm not saying he's better than Alphonso Davies. Alphonso Davies, I'm watching him again today. Unbelievable. Unbelievable player. And he's ahead of Saka. But the way in which Saka's burst onto the scene, you've got to put him in a similar sort of vein as, you know, the way he's come in. And he's definitely a great talent. What do you think?
No, Saka's a baller, bruv. I mean, Davies is unreal. As an athlete and the speed, he is slightly on another. So quick, bruv. Some Usain Bolt thing, but Saka's, yeah, he's comparable. He's got double figures for assists in the Premier League in a team that has struggled playing out of position as well. He's not a natural left back, so Saka's a baller, man. Davies ahead of him, but Saka's definitely a top player. Yeah,
and Saka is just like Davies, is a very young player. And, you know, we need to be very excited about this guy. I'm sure if we was watching Saka from a distance, we'd be raving about it and saying, well, you know, why don't Arsenal go and put 60, 70 million on the table to bring him in? He's already here for our academy, so we can talk him up, but he's not. Alphonso Davies is, wow, whoever scouted him and brought him in. I mean, he's so quick. Not only is he quick getting up and down that pitch, he's a very good defender as well, one-on-one.
Yeah, very, very.
He's a very good player. John Layett says, I heard Arsenal were linked to Samuel Duncan, who currently plays for Gillingham. I keep hearing this, but I've not seen this. You heard about that link?
No, I don't know him, you know.
I don't know him. Esme says, play Lacquer at number 10. He played there at Lyon. Well, he's kind of playing there now, but...
Yeah.
Akhilesh says, if Leicester come for Tierney for, say, 30 million, we'll also be tempted to sell him. I'm sure they will come in for him if they sell Chilwell. And I was chatting yesterday to the guys from Leicester Fan TV, and they were asking me various questions about Tierney and saying how they're coming. And I'm like, I was going to imagine this Leicester man saying they're coming for our player. Right? That's where it's come to. But I can't see Arsenal selling Tierney. It would have to be a ridiculous offer.
It don't make no sense to sell him. We haven't even seen how good he is at Arsenal yet, really. You know what I mean?
Let's not forget it was a big money signing. You know?
Yeah.
You know, 25. You know, when I say big money signing, you know, to bring a player in, I think it's the most expensive. Is it the most expensive signing from a Scottish team?
Him and Dembele, I think. Yeah, but I think Tierney might be more. Yeah, so I don't see us selling him.
They put a lot into getting him into the club. Remember, that was like a deadline day signing. We all forget that because he's hardly played. Yeah. Do you know what we think about it? I was actually doing some work on this this afternoon for a video that we've got coming out, and looking back at our transfer window, it was quite a good window. We bought Pepe, which shocked everybody. We bought in Danny Ceballos on loan, which everybody at the time thought, wow, great loan deal. Exciting player. We bought in David Luiz. All right, but we still looked at it and said, right, it's not the stellar centre back we want, but we beat Tottenham to the signing of Saliba. because remember Tottenham were in for him as well. We beat them to the signing of him, got him for 27 million, right? Got him Martinelli, first signing of the window, and Tierney on deadline day. It was a good window, and that's one of the reasons why this season has been so disappointing. I remember when as I was doing a lot of the sort of research, I was remembering the fact that, you know, we was all saying to ourselves, yeah, we're looking forward to that front three.
Yeah.
You know? So it's been very disappointing. MSG4403 says, Curtis, do you think that Martinelli will actually cause a problem? Because Otamendi is suspect. For me, Saka should start playing left wing. He will definitely score.
It's a good point, man, because Saka's going to want to play left wing now, isn't he? Now that Tierney's back. So it'll be interesting whether Arteta puts him in on the left.
We're going to need a lot of energy in that game.
Yeah, lots.
Having players like Martinelli and Saka and Eddie Nketiah. Now, we don't seem to mention Eddie. He scored a hat-trick today. We don't seem to mention him, but he's he's very quick. You know, he could be a very important player in a game like that as well. I mean, will 5 substitutes help us?
I think it helps you more if you've got real quality on the bench. How much? I mean, we have got decent players, but you know, City are going to have more depth than us. You know, they're going to bring off a Sterling and bring Sané on, take off Bernardo Silva, bring Mahrez on, bring Jesus on for Aguero. So, you know, I think it's easier when you've got better players on the bench. But I think apart from Callum Chambers, I think every Arsenal player is basically fit and available. So,
Doc says Claude complaint about George Lewis, but Martinelli played with the under-23s at first too. And Alphonso Davies is representing us, Canadian, and I'm proud of him. And again, me and Claude is having a big argument about this on Monday. Because Claude there's taking the mick literally out of this signing of, or proposed signing of George Lewis. First of all, he's saying that it's only because he was born in Rwanda, and he's saying because we're sponsored by Rwanda. He's saying that he was the reason we're buying him. Then he just pouring scorn on the fact that he's coming from literally nowhere. In Norway in the 3rd division. Like this guy says, Alphonso Davies come from Canada, from nowhere. You know what I mean? And now everybody's raving over him. Sometimes you have those players that, you know, that just from their late developers and just no one's really been talking about them, seeing them, and just from nowhere, boom. I was chatting to somebody at Arsenal who said to me, Saka has always been a very good youth player, but they've been shocked at the way he's just been able to step into the first team and just, you know, just seamlessly
handle it. You know, Robbie, years ago, I played against Jamie Vardy when he was in non-league. You know, you look at the guy's the top goal scorer in the Premier League now, above your Agueros, all these guys. It's not about where you start, it's where you finish. So you shouldn't judge players on where they're coming from, man. Martinelli came from what, Brazilian 4th division or something? Yeah. He's one of our best players, arguably, now. So give this kid a chance, man, and then we'll make a judgment.
You played against Vardy. What was he like when you played against him non-league?
He was just a workhorse, bruv. He was absolute lightning quick, and he just ran down the defenders all game, and he was a good finisher as well. Just same how he is at Leicester, really. Just runs and shoots.
What other players did you play against? Players that have gone on to. Were there any others? Anybody else would have done what he done, the way he's achieved.
Yeah, no, he's probably the biggest one, really. Jody Morris, I think he's Chelsea assistant manager now. Do you know I played against Edgar Davids actually? You know, he was Barnet player manager, yeah. I played midfield against him, man. I tried to nutmeg him at that because he was old. He couldn't run at that point, but he was unbelievable on the ball, man. Yeah, right.
Those guys just have it, innit? You see them play.
Yeah.
I remember we played this little friendly game, and Paul Merson was playing. And obviously, you know, he's an older guy now, doesn't run. He didn't have to run.
Yeah.
He was just spraying the ball around and all that. His touch was unreal.
Yeah, yeah.
and these guys are just mega talented, aren't they?
Yeah, next level, next level.
Yeah. Greg Football TV says we don't like it, but Aubameyang does his best work off the left wing. That's where a hung number of his goals come from, and play Gabby down the middle with Pepe. So he's saying play Aubameyang on the left, Martinelli down the middle, and Pepe.
You know what? It's one of them things, because I always say this to you, don't I? I don't like Aubameyang on the left, but you always say to me, yeah, but he always scores from there. So that is the argument against it, where, you know, his goal record's so good out there. It's just my worry is the defensive work. Can he get back and defend and keep going forward? And I feel like it will burn him out a little bit. But he does make a good point, man. A lot of these wingers now, they score more than the actual central striker anyway. So maybe leave him.
SHDW says, honestly, from what I've seen under Arteta, I'd keep Xhaka over Torreira. Our midfield would be less attacking than it's already with two CDMs. Also, Xhaka really stepped up his game under Arteta.
He makes a good point. I think Xhaka was better under Arteta than Torreira, but Torreira did get injured in the Portsmouth game. But just for me, Xhaka, he's one of these guys, you watch him for a few games, he plays well, and then it goes out the window, you know. He's improved, but has he improved from not very good to average? I still don't think he's at the level that we need, if I'm honest. I would still move him on.
He'll be fully tested against City, trust me on that.
Yeah, fully.
Those sort of games where we want to see a good performance. Mally says, I will play Martinelli number 10, Saka left wing, and Aubameyang and Pepe right wing. Hold on, that's unbalanced, isn't it? Martinelli as a number 10. Okay.
Yeah. Has he got that little...
Martinelli play as a number 10? I mean...
I don't know if he's got the little through ball or them tender touches, man. I'm not sure.
Daniel says, trust me, guys, Pepe's going to let one slip against Arteta. The guy loves our gaffer. Laugh out loud. Wenger and Gazidis caused a problem for this club. Hope Kroenke invests this season as well, now that we've got Raul and Edu. Kroenke invest?
That ain't going to happen, is it? Not after a pandemic as well, man. We'll be Ryan Fraser and Kazawa and Willian, all them free agents, bro.
Darren Scholes says Pepe should be played down the middle next season. Again, he did play a bit more. So he was still playing out wide, but he played a bit more centrally when he was at Lille and he scored all those goals. Izuna says, sell Ozil and make Ceballos permanent. I saw you laughing and saying, oh no, and like, you know, when I was suggesting that I'd play Ozil in that game. Why?
Because to me, like, Mesut Ozil away from home at Man City, I hope he proves me wrong, but realistically, it's not going to happen. He doesn't perform in these type of games anymore.
All right. Doc says, my last one for the day. Did you know that Martinelli got married right after he got in contact with Edu, just to prove his lad, is that love or lad? Love. He won't be I don't know, his lad. Does he mean love there? That he won't be going after girls left, right, and centre in London. Is that right? I
never heard that.
Hasn't scored players in the past.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, being married don't always stop them either, you know, I'm telling you.
Harsh says Arsenal have players who would be better in a 3-5-2 system. The current centre-backs are not good enough to play 4 at the back. What do you think of that? Maybe going with 3 at the back. Would that be... I
mean, I remember when Wenger went 3 at the back that year when won the FA Cup. David Luiz, I mean, I think he had his best season at Chelsea in a 3. I think it would help him. Maybe Bellerin, Tierney, wing back. Yeah, possibly. I'm not the biggest fan of three at the back. It's a bit defensive, but
Yeah, but
maybe.
against City.
Nah, not against City, man. Nah, the wing backs will be doing way too much running after Sterling and them, man.
Yeah, but if you got three at the back and two dropping back in to help out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. City's such a difficult team to play against, man. I mean, I hear people saying, yeah, get on the front foot and that, but they're the sort of team that absolutely rip you apart if you... I don't know. I don't even know what the best tactic is to play against.
But the thing is, Rob, if we go there and defend, you wouldn't trust our defense to hold them out, would you? So I just feel like people think we're going to lose that game. So why not just go there and try and do something?
Fawad says, let me destroy your hype about Pepe. You got Pepe for 72 million. Chelsea got Ziyech for £32. He's 32 million, actually, mate. Wow, worth 32 pounds, right? He's 32. And you've not seen Ziyech play yet in the Premier League. He's looked good. Don't get me wrong. He looks a very, very good player, right? He looks an exciting player, just like Pepe looked exciting before we got him. It might take Ziyech time to settle as well, right? So don't get over carried away.
And you know what? I've noticed a lot of these fans, man. I feel like fans are still sour that we got Pepe. You know,
they are.
You know what I mean? Like, why ain't no one talking about Pulisic at Chelsea? You know what I mean? Chelsea paid 50 million for Pulisic. This guy's done nothing all season. I know, and they want to talk about Pepe.
You know what it is, Curtis? A lot of it is that. Is that they still can't believe we got Pepe because he was linked to all these, you know, and then we just come in. That's what I'm saying. When I look back on it, I was doing because we got a video coming out about Arsenal's season so far.
Yeah.
And honestly, when I was like going over it, I was like, we had a good transfer window. That's why Emery, honestly, when I was doing the research today and I looked at the start of the season, right? So we went from right at the beginning of the transfer window, where remember we was going to America. I remember it just brought back so many memories. Over in America, in absolute meltdown, man. You know what I mean? We're like, oh, what's going on? We're not signing anyone. And then we signed Martinelli, as I said, and then we started making some good signings, positive signings. Even the Ceballos one, I remember at the time thinking, yeah. I remember seeing him play for the Spain under 21s or under 23s, and he looked a baller. Very good. And honestly, I think Emery, you know, he should have went long before he went. With the team that we had, it was a much better team than last season. There is no reason why we should have performed back. And literally, I was going through all the games, and Emery was terrible. Yeah. The amount of chances that we conceded 32 shots against Watford. You remember that game?
I remember that one, yeah.
And I'm looking at Arsenal's team and I'm like, as bad as what you want to say, nah, we should not be. It was how he was set up. And then Ljungberg come in and it was the same thing.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when you see Arteta's come in, I see improvements. And if he can get this team clicking, we still know that there's more needed, but it's not a terrible team. He's got to get it more cohesive, you know?
Yeah. No, it's crazy that we're probably the only team we spent 100 million and got worse. We were better last season. You know what I mean?
I spent 100 million on some decent players. On some, I mean, you know, guys with Tierney, we've been very unlucky with injuries.
Yeah.
I was looking at how sparingly we've used Pepe as well. That was the other thing I couldn't understand. Such an exciting player you buy, and you're thinking, yes. And then under Emery, you hardly played him.
I look back at that now, you know, I feel like Emery was trying to prove a point. You know, when Emery's coming out saying, I wanted Zaha, I felt like he was throwing his dummy out the pram. Like, I didn't really want this Pepe, so I'm putting him on the bench kind of thing. You know what I mean? Because, you know, Painful.
Hashtag 81194 says, this is what annoys me about our fan base. Of course, everyone is entitled to their opinion, but all we saw were 5 minutes of highlights, and people are saying this and that player played horrible. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I haven't seen the highlights yet, but to say this man got spun and that man got spun, you know, don't get me, you know, all players can get spun.
Anyone can get spun. You know,
it's a clean sheet.
I remember when we signed Shamak, and I was on YouTube thinking, oh, yo, I can't wait for this guy to join. He looks like a monster. And then he come over and it was like, YouTube, you've led me down a dark road here, bruv. Even Sanogo looked good on YouTube before we signed him.
Pacquiao God says, do you think Lacazette will have a good comeback? Well, that's what we're saying. We're hopeful that he might have that. Top Baller says Ziyech is miles ahead of Pepe. Where do you get that from?
You can't say that, man. Come on. He's playing in Holland. No disrespect to the Dutch league, but he needs to come to the Prem and prove it first.
Dutch league is a completely different thing. We've seen players that have burnt it up in the Dutch league. What's the defenders at Juventus at the moment? De Ligt.
Yeah.
Killing it in Holland.
Struggling in Italy.
He's struggling. He's a bad player. He's a quality player. And plus, you always have got to give a player more than a season.
Yeah.
Ziyech has looked good when you've seen him in some of the Champions League games, without doubt. And he's played well in Holland. He's been in Holland for quite a long time. But like you said, that's Holland.
Look at Memphis Depay, Rob. He was player of the year in Holland, came to Man United, couldn't do it. He's gone to France, he's doing well. But, you know, the Premier League's a different ball game altogether.
So I think, you know, you've got to be very careful how you talking up these guys. Let's wait and see what he does when he gets there. But it's a good signing.
Yeah, it is a good signing. It is. He wanted to come to us.
Yeah. Mr. Pepper says Robbie Pulisic has been injured all season and is 21 years old. When he played, he did look quality. But when our players have been injured, like Tim,
exactly.
Asif says Ziyech has been in at a development league his whole career. That makes you think. Now, listen, he's a good signing. If we made that signing, I would have been saying, and don't get me wrong, I don't think we needed Ziyech because we've already got Pepe who plays out on that. That's not what we need. I don't want to sign in just names. I want to sign in what we need. That's why, like what you said earlier, Curtis, when you look at a player like Partey, you think, yes, you get excited because we need a player like that.
He's got what we need, innit? Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I genuinely am still excited to see what Pepe does at Arsenal. I think there's a really, really good footballer in there. I think he just needs the confidence from his manager. You know, he's come to a new league, a new club. He's had 3 managers in one season. He just needs things to settle down. I'm rooting for Pepe, man.
Big Night says, talking up a 72 million player with 11G plus 4. Come on. Vic Star says, Pepe looked good on YouTube. The opposite in reality. He's looked good in bits for Arsenal. It's his first season. And we've got to get this guy. I agree with you, Curtis. I think anybody who's, you know, and this is no disrespect right now to people who haven't been to a lot of games. But I think anybody who's been to a lot of games, you know, you see, you're like, if this guy clicks it out with some of the things he does, he's gonna be a top player.
Definitely.
He just needs like to get rolling. And remember, there's been a lot of players that come to Arsenal. It's taken them time to develop.
Yeah.
Greg Football TV says Robbie Laka scored a screamer today. And that's what they're reporting as well. I'm going to watch those highlights when we're done here. Lone Star Londoner says everyone says next year for Pepe, he will be a worldie. I tell my boss the same thing. Well, wait and see, but I've got confidence that he's going to come good. I really do. And as I said, you speak to a lot of people who go week in, week out and watch him, and nobody seems overly worried.
No,
he's not going to come good because they can all see I don't know. You go all the time. You've seen it, haven't you?
Do you know what is? Do you know another thing? What I've noticed now, when Pepe plays, teams are doubling up on him, and that usually tells you that teams are worried about him. So I think that's the biggest compliment that other teams are playing him. Pepe's going to be a baller next season, man. Even this season, I think he'll finish the season strong.
Yeah, he could be an important player.
Yeah,
stop blaming Emery for everything. I'm not blaming him for everything. He's got to take big blame. He's the one manager that got a good transfer window.
Yep.
Good transfer window. There's been managers. We've had shocking transfer windows, right? Yeah. He had a good transfer window. He had some exciting. And the guy didn't want to play. Well, how can we have how can we go from at the start of the season saying to ourselves, even talking to Liverpool fans, and we're like, yeah, you know what? We've got a front three comparable to you guys now.
Yeah.
Aubameyang, Pepe, and Lacazette. How can we go from saying that to having the most negative team out there, where we're conceding 32 goals against Watford, where we're going against teams and we're literally, so negative in our play. We played that team, I remember, Victoria in the Europa League. I remember that was one of the worst games I ever watched in my life, right? Where we had one chance. Victoria. One chance all game. I think Mustafi scored a header.
Yeah, I remember that.
On target. And there was quite a few games like that where we only had one or two shots on target for the whole game. Yeah, I'm blaming Emery for that. He has
to take blame. I mean, I remember that summer. You remember when we only signed Peter Cech? I mean, Wenger, a club legend in charge, got one signing. And this guy Emery gets 100 million and doesn't even make the most of it, man. Emery has to take a whole heap of blame for that.
Yeah. Fan chat says, do you guys think the empty stadium will lessen the pressure on Arsenal's players to perform, or will it have the reverse effects?
That's a good question. Very good.
What do you think?
Do you know what? I think it might help us because there's a lot of players at Arsenal that get a lot of criticism from the fan base. For some of it is their fault, some of it not. I think your likes of Xhaka, your Mustafis, people like that, even Lacazette, I think they'll be far more relaxed not having the fans there. So I think that might help us.
Yeah, could do. I just definitely think that Brighton game would have been a lot more tougher with Brighton with all their fans behind them.
Yeah,
than going there to face them without that. So those sort of games are definitely going to help Arsenal. It could help. Right, we're going to do the last couple. Over an hour gone. It's absolutely flown past today. It's been a really, really good show as usual. You guys love the way you guys have been getting involved. I've got to say, I've got to thank everybody who's been really supporting these live shows that we've been doing. Up until when the lockdown occurred, we haven't really done many of these sort of shows. Obviously, since the whole lockdown thing, we've been doing them daily, twice a day, and the support that these shows get from you guys make these shows, has been absolutely fantastic, and I'm really grateful for that. It's been brilliant, and when football comes back, we're going to be still here with you guys, interacting. So it's been absolutely fantastic. This guy whose name I can't print. Can you pronounce that name there, Curtis?
I'm not even gonna try, bro. I don't want to be a meme, No more dubs, man. No more dubs.
I think we have to be thoughtful of the finances, considering no Champions League, and blood some young guys into the team. Balogun, Bielik, Joel Lopez, Zach Swanson for right back. We are going to have to play some of these young guys.
Balogun, man, he looks a talent as well, by the way.
But again, I see a lot of people look almost like they're rushing.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah. And final one here, Guma Gamer TV says, hi, Robbie. Everyone's talking doo-doo about Pepe. Watch when he gets going. I hope they'll all keep that same energy. Remember how Henry started.
He makes a good point. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be on Henry's level, but we've seen a lot of top players come to Arsenal. Bergkamp, Henry, loads of players and become top players. Pires, yeah. Pepe's a baller, man. Pepe's a baller. I've got no worries there.
Okay, well, listen, guys, thank you very much for watching the show tonight. We're going to be back in the morning, of course, with another News Daily, the early edition. Curtis, thank you very much. Tell them about your channel where they can come to watch your stuff.
Yeah, check out my channel, Curtis Shaw TV. Just got the Football Content Award nomination for Best New Content Creator. If you can
Brilliant.
get over there, drop the vote, be there with AFTV at that night, celebrating, hopefully, walk out of Tottenham with a trophy.
Is that what you're doing?
That's where they're doing it, yeah.
God. Stadium. Oh. When is it?
Yeah, November, I think. You should know, man.
I'll be honest with you, I haven't even had a chance to really look on it.
No.
You know what? I remember I had to speak at some conference.
Mm.
And last year when they done the conference, it was at no, not last year. The year before. No, yeah, last year the year before when they done the conference, they did it at Chelsea. And I remember saying to the guy, why are you doing it? Well, can't you do it at Arsenal? You know what I mean? Bloody Chelsea here. And then when they done the conference this year, I noticed that last year, I kept asking the guy, where's the conference then? And he's going, oh yeah, Robbie, we're going to get you the details over. Yeah, it's coming. And then I'll be like, about 2 weeks before, I said, yo, bro, where is it, man? I need to organize what I'm going to do. Where, do I need to come and stay overnight? Or, where is it? Yeah, I'm going to drop you an email now, right? Where he still couldn't tell me when the email come, Tottenham. I was like, bloody hell. But anyway, Curtis, thank you very much, mate. And thanks to everybody for watching the show. And we'll be back in the morning.